It is Friday, um, May 10th, 2024, and I am, um, I have to think for a little bit, because I just finished recording the finale episode for Return of the Obra Dinn, um, which is going to be 4 parts, and each part is going to be about 2 hours long, which is basically just a repeat of a message I just sent my friend, who... This is actually the first series that I have completed without anything from him, which is kind of weird to think about. Kind of miss the days where we would stream and record together. But he's in college now, and I know how that was. I barely had time for anything. And he has other friends that he does stuff with, so, which is a good thing because, yeah. It's good to have friends around you instead of, many, many miles away. But, yeah, so, it does make me a little sad sometimes, though. But yeah, I had to record that today if I was going to record it this weekend because I'm going to be visiting the parents tomorrow and the day after, so this weekend, which I was not informed about until this morning. So, yeah. So, don't know if I'm going to record tomorrow's before I leave tomorrow or what. But, yes. I don't know. I don't know. I feel kind of weird now. I don't think the Obra Dinn affected me as much tonight as it usually does when I play it. Because I think solving everybody's fates, which we were able to do without looking anything up, somehow. Yeah. I think solving everybody's fates kind of put an end to stuff in my mind. But at the same time, there's still some questions I have. It goes through the list of what everybody did at the end of the game, and like there are some exceptional valors or whatever that I don't really remember. But there's just so much stuff in that game, which is one of the reasons why I like it, because like you're expected to take so much information along with you from scene to scene. And you don't even know at the beginning, you don't even know which information is important. But that's the one thing that playing this game before helped me with, was I knew I needed to take notes. I knew a couple of things I needed to take notes on, and I knew some information. I knew how some of the people were related. There were 1 or 2 people where it's like I saw them and I was like, I know who this is. I know I talk so much about the authenticity, but I will admit here that there were some things where I made a connection that I didn't have the information for yet. The only way I knew it was by playing the game before. So I didn't mention it, and I waited until the game gave enough information to figure out what it was. So, just because that seems like a better way to deal with the situation than just to say, I know who this person is, but you don't, ha ha ha, or to say like, I'm not going to tell you why, but I'm going to write this down, I feel like those aren't good options either. But I don't know, maybe I made a decision that goes against something. You're willing, I'm willing to hear from you guys about that. If you think I should have handled it differently. Um, yeah, I don't know. I I just uploaded the finale for my Tears of the Kingdom series, so it's kind of funny that it's the same week, and I'm recording the finale for another episode. And man, I when I was doing the monologue over the credits and in Tears of the Kingdom, I thought I was doing so good. It's like by the first time I finished a Let's Play, and the monologue over the credits is like it's a big deal for Let's Plays. Um, it's kind of like your last time to talk about the game before that chapter closes forever. And it's the last time to talk with your audience for that game before that closes forever. And granted, I don't have an audience for that channel now, so it doesn't even matter, I guess. But I don't know. It's just interesting to think about, I guess. Yeah, and I thought I was doing such a good job, and like I went back and watched it this time before I uploaded it, and it's like I don't know about that. To be fair, I never expect myself to be good at something the first time I do it. I always hope to, though, and usually I can tell that whether it's good or bad. But at the same time, it doesn't really do any good to think that you're doing a bad job at it. It's just kind of a big task to try to summarize all of your thoughts about something like right in the moment and try not to leave anything out when you know it's your last chance to talk about it. And now I can't go back and change anything I said. I can't. Well, okay, so there's one thing I think I need to clarify. Um, because it was a sensitive topic. I might have to record something and be like, I just want to make clear that this is what I was thinking, or something like that. But that's not the same. And I'll never be able to go back and do it better either, unless that's something I decide to do. Maybe I do a replaying my old Let's Plays. That'd be kind of an interesting idea, but I think I have probably better things to do with my time. And maybe I didn't feel this way about Tears of the Kingdom because I had my friend with me, and we sat and like talked for the game for like another 45 minutes after the credits. And maybe because I was so excited to play the game not on stream, because I had done 44 streams of that game, and I was kind of tired of streaming it, and I was ready to just. I felt like I don't know. Maybe I felt more pressure for that game. I don't know. Where here, this is a short game. There's so much stuff packed into it, but it's still less than a 10-hour game. I spent like 8 hours on it the first time, maybe 8.5. I forget exactly. And I spent 9 something on it this time. Um, Probably because I spent so much time explaining stuff, taking notes, and I didn't look anything up. Um, but that's how you know I wasn't cheating, because I didn't do it fast. I did it slower than my first time somehow when I didn't know anything about the game. But that's probably because I was talking so much. And really, we did a really good job. We only went and looked back at memories like just a few times. So really, I did a good job, but I just feel I don't know. It's kind of similar to the same feeling I get after concerts sometimes, where it's like, well, I really wanted to get better at that part, or I love this music so much, or you miss it. Spent so much time feeling indifferent about it. It's like, oh, this music's so hard, this stuff's so annoying. I felt like that about some of my college classes too, really. It's like, oh, well, I didn't really get what the professor was talking about there, but well, the class is done. And you can't go back and relearn it. I mean, you can, but not in the classroom setting with the professor. Or, you miss a question or a section, and it's like, well, my chance for getting better at that section is gone now. And it really is the only alternative to this. Is the only alternative to do it so much that you hate it. And then you don't feel bad about getting it done. This is kind of bringing to mind something from. Uh, so, I occasionally watch um, the online streaming show Dimension 20. And one of their series that I watched, and I think I watched it on YouTube, um, was The Unsleeping City, which is a D&D game set in New York, but it's magic. New York City. That was a great story. But even more than that, there were some things that were said that I think make a lot of sense. And so I have somewhat incorporated them into my view of the world, which I don't do with all their stuff because I don't agree with even most of their takes on things. But um, but even if you disagree with things, you can still learn things from them, and you can still uh, it's still okay to enjoy it, as long as you make sure that you come out of it still being you, you know. As long as you're aware of how you're being influenced and you decide if you're okay with it. And I think a lot of people should probably apply that to a lot of things that they view and watch. But the one thing I did pick up from there that I do think about occasionally, not think about occasionally, the one piece of philosophy that I have incorporated into my view is that dreams are special because they can represent many things. But when you turn a dream into reality, it's forced to become one thing. And maybe that's why it's kind of, you feel empty at the end of a creative endeavor, kind of like what I was talking about. Doing concerts and making YouTube series are kind of the main artistically creative things that I do. And since I'm, well, and is learning stuff in college also artistically creative? It's because it has this, leaves you with the same feeling. I'll have to think about that a little more. So, like what I was saying yesterday, you can always improve a process more. But when you finish making a thing, it's done. Maybe that's why I do so much technical creativity stuff rather than artistic creativity stuff. Because yeah, when you're making something artistic, you're taking all of your ideas and you're turning it into one thing. And when you're done making that one thing, it's just that one thing. But that's even weirder because it's one thing to you, but it's also one thing to someone else. And those two things might not be the same. You know, most of the people in the audience at a concert don't get the same things out of it that the person on stage does. You may think you're doing terribly, but the way that the people in the audience interpret it is that everything sounded great, you know? I might think I could do better at Return of the Obra Dinn, but or I might think I did great at Return of the Obra Dinn, and other people can think I was awful and terrible and should, whatever YouTube comments tell you to do. But that's the other direction. So maybe making things and fixing them. Fixing in the sense of making them unchangeable. It is sad in one way. Maybe if I had done another game in between these two, maybe I would have done better at this one, you know. But I don't think that's really worthwhile to go down that road, because by that metric, it's like, I don't want to waste that game. And it's like, well, then you're never going to do one. So, yeah, that's not a helpful way to go about things. It's important to do your first game, or it's important to do your first thing so you can do your second thing, and then you can do your third, and then your fourth. Sometimes you just gotta do things. But I guess it's also okay to be I guess it's okay to to mourn the loss of the other infinite possibilities that could have happened. And it's silly. I mean, it feels silly. Oh, man, I feel like I'm so more willing to dismiss my own emotions than to dismiss anyone else's. Maybe I need to give myself a little more grace. Maybe instead of saying that it's silly, maybe I can say that it's weird. Because it's okay for things to be weird. And I mean, it's also okay for things to be silly, but maybe that's not the word I want to use. It's weird, you know? By bringing one thing into the world, I removed all of the other infinite possibilities. And I think it's okay to feel kind of empty or sad about that. But it's still worth it. Because now that one thing turned from a dream, from one of infinite possibilities, it turned into the one reality that it did. And that's a good thing. So, I definitely didn't expect to make a 20-minute video journal today. It is now 11 at night, and I usually would be in bed for a little bit by now, but I just needed to tell somebody. So, and you're the only people I have right now. So, thank you for being there. At least I hope you're there. But it's okay. It's enough for me to talk to myself, and I can usually get things figured out. And I am so glad that I can. But I would love to hear anybody else's experiences or thoughts about dealing with that. And yeah, thanks for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow, I guess.